All right, let's go ahead and get things started here. This will be my second attempt at trying to get this done right. I ran into a couple audio issues, so I'm gonna have to re-record. But hey, I've only seen the first like maybe 14 or so minutes, and so far I agree. I disagree when it comes to certain weapons, but you know what? I'm a fair man. We'll go ahead and take their judgment. But let's go ahead and get started pretty much just to not waste time. I've already given you the lowdown. Primal Radiancy, go like, subscribe to him. Absolutely hilarious. And I am a huge Mass Effect fan, so good thing for me.
Why is this gun not doing anything?
I told you not to use the Indra, Joe.
God damn it.
And the long streak of L's continues for you, Sleepy Joe.
I told you over
Which-
and over that if you're...
Which the Indra is not the issue. It is how you use the Indra. Because the Indra is not that bad, but you shouldn't be using that on Sentinels. That makes sense. Because they have shields, and if you upgrade correctly, you'll be fine. But if you don't, then you're kind of fucked.
You're going to use a sniper rifle, you need to pick the Black Widow.
The Black Widow is too loud and too heavy. The least enjoyable gun in the game to use.
No, it is not. That is the most sacrilegious thing I have ever fucking heard someone say. It's so blasphemous. The Black Widow is one of the best snipers in the game. The only thing that I consider better than the Black Widow is like maybe the normal Widow to an extent, but not really. The Black Widow is easily like top tier. You know what? No, the Collector sniper rifle. That's pretty high up there if you combine it with like elemental ammo. But the Black Widow still is probably going to outpace it.
That is the single largest L take you've had in all these years, Joe. Holy shit.
Bro really said the black motherfucking widow wasn't enjoyable.
Exactly.
Let me guess, Joe, you probably like the M8 Avenger, don't you?
The M8 Avenger is a good and simple gun. No flash.
And there we go. Opinion immediately invalidated. Anyone who likes the Avenger is dumb as fuck. Listen, you can like the weapon, but we all can acknowledge that the Avenger is a fucking pea shooter. It sounds awful. It doesn't sound anywhere near as good as it did in Mass Effect 2 or even in Mass Effect 1. In 3, it literally sounds like a pea shooter and it functions like a pea shooter. It's not good. It's okay. I don't want an okay weapon. An okay weapon will get me killed if I play on Insanity.
Bullcrap. It gets the job done.
The only thing the M8 Avenger is good for is looking pretty on the box art of the game and being the default weapon your character uses in cutscenes, even though you equip something far superior.
Okay, well, what's your favorite gun then, Barry?
If we're talking about this, we're doing it right. Here's a tier list with all the guns in Mass Effect.
There's literally no bigger fall off in the history of mankind than running an entire country for 8 years just to be devolved into a terminally online tier list making debate lord.
What about running an entire country for 4 years, losing to a geriatric old fart who's too old to remember his own middle name, and then having criminal indictments launched against you?
Damn.
You, Obama?
Yeah, thought so. If you come at me, you best aim for the head, Donald.
I don't really appreciate you taking a stray shot at me there, Barry, but I'll let it slide. What's the deal with this tier list?
For the most part, we'll only be covering weapons as they are in Mass Effect 3, since that's where we get the most variety. The only exception will be the heavy weapons that are restricted to Mass Effect 2.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, and I get where he's going with that. So, the heavy weapons, you couldn't use that in Mass Effect 1 at all. And you can use them in Mass Effect 3, but they are not a weapon slot. So you just find them in specific missions. If you find them, and you use them until they run out of ammo, and then after that, you can't use it no more. So, I mean, that's not... In Mass... I don't know why they did that, because in Mass Effect 2, you literally had a heavy weapon slot where you could carry it with you.
Speaking of which, what about Mass Effect 3's heavy weapons?
Weapons like the Reaper Black Star and the Geth Spitfire are only provided for us in specific situations and aren't
Which,
usable once they...
which the Black Star is fucking amazing. That shit is... That and the... Okay, and for clarification, that is not entirely correct. They're talking about single player. In multiplayer, the Geth Spitfire, for instance, is a gun that you can use. In fact, it is well known that if you use the Geth Spitfire and you have the N7 Destroyer in multiplayer and you activate their little Devastator mode, they fucking sprint slower than anyone can walk. They sprint so fucking slow because it's so heavy.
They've run out of ammo.
My bad.
So we won't count them here. All weapons will be judged as they are without any modifications. And
Fine.
up to their level 5 upgrade, since that's the highest.
Okay. He's saying without modifications. Okay. I caught it that time. He said without modifications. So we can't include mods. All right, so don't include mods. I didn't hear that the first time when I was recording. I'm glad I catch it the second attempt.
You can get to in a non-new game plus playthrough.
And we should judge weapons on how they feel and sound to shoot. Because let's be honest, the best thing about firing a gun is feeling that impact when you pull the trigger.
Okay, well, let's get to it. What's first?
Since I feel the need to correct you on that trash-ass take from before, we'll be starting with the Black Widow.
God tier. It has to be God tier. There's literally no reason that a Widow taken by the Alliance, modified, and yeah, it is just as heavy, but shoots 3 times. Most things in the game, if it's not a boss, will be lucky to survive 1 shot, and even then, that's not very likely. Phantoms, Cerberus troopers, Centurions with their shields up, even the Sentinels, the ones that have the little shields. If you aim through the slot and hit them right in the face, dead. Just boom. They're dead. Like and I'm talking about on Insanity. Them motherfuckers die super easy. And this was without mods. They're not surviving most shots. As long as you hit them in the head. Body shots, okay, it's going to stagger them. It's not going to finish them. But headshots, no, they're done.
Starting strong, Barack, the Black Widow is the best sniper rifle in the game and one of the best guns in the game.
Whoa. I'm trying to check my brain for any validity to that. Is it the best? Overall, I think it actually might be. Yeah, because like the only things I can think of that can compete are like one-shots. They're like one-shot weapons and one-shot rifles. So yeah, it probably might be. It's very likely.
Game overall. The
I
Black
agree.
Widow takes the power
It is
of
the
the
best.
M98 Widow and trades it in for the ability to shoot 3 shots before needing to reload, giving it an overall higher DPS.
Too bad it traded all that power and is still as heavy as the M98. If you rely on cooldowns, you're better off using the Mantis instead.
You're not, Joe, oh my. If you are using a class with cooldowns, you are not using the Black Widow. If you are an adept, you are not using a Black Widow. You are using SMGs. You're using pistols. Or maybe an assault rifle. If even that, because I don't even use the gun. I'll take the Predator, because I don't need anything. Stop using weight as a fucking clutch to fucking say weapon bad.
Plus, that additional DPS doesn't count for a thing when the gun kicks like a drunk rhino. You won't be able to hit a target.
Skill issue. That's all I'm going to say. Recoil, so many people talk about recoil. Recoil is not that bad for anything. It's called adapting to it. The recoil for the Black Widow is not that bad. Literally, just let go of your sights and fucking zoom back in, and it homes in on enemies. Readjust.
Get more than once.
Takes
Jesus
like 2
Christ,
seconds.
Joe, I'm sending you to FPS boot camp. You unscope after you shoot so you can easily realign your shot.
Besides, barely anything in the game is withstanding
You
a
do-
single shot.
You literally do that with every sniper rifle. You zoom in, and then you fire, and you zoom out, so that way you're not tunnel visioning on wherever you are, and you have a good idea of your surroundings. That way you don't get snuck on. Everyone knows this. It's literally shooter 101. Everyone does that.
From the Black Widow.
The gun also costs way too many credits. You won't even get it anytime soon.
Yeah, because you'll be overpowered as fuck. You're fighting... You don't even fight a Phantom before you find... Like, by the time you have the Black Widow, you actually can need it somewhat. Because you're not even fighting anything that... You're fighting shit that the Avenger can take care of, and the Avenger's a piece of shit. I mean, I'm just saying, dude.
For good reason, having a Black Widow super early would make you insanely overpowered.
Joe, you got
No, the Mantis, the first sniper rifle they give you is one shot in these enemies if you headshot them. The fucking Mantis. Maybe, I'll have to remember. No, because we're saying up to 5, since that's the highest you can go. That the Mantis will one-shot them. What are you talking about?
nothing on the Black Widow. It's God tier.
Agreed. I mean, just
Yeah,
listen.
it's God tier. And then the... I love that sound. I just want to take a moment to praise some of the sound design for the guns, because some of them are absolute fucking garbage, or very representative of what it is. Again, the Avengers sounds like a fucking pea shooter. That shit sounds awful. But the Lancer sounds amazing. I don't know why the fuck that is not the weapon that is not the sound effect that was used, but probably to represent the difference between the two.
Just listen to that beauty.
If the two of you like having tinnitus, fine, but me personally, I like not having my ears blown out.
Oh,
Yeah,
shut up,
last I
Joe.
checked, Donald and I aren't the ones having problems hearing things. It's going in God tier.
Yep.
Next up, we have the M55 Argus.
Okay, so the Argus, I've used it several times, even in multiplayer as the Tyrian Ghost. It's not bad, but it's not super good. The burst fire... okay, so here's the thing. The burst fire is not very accurate. Like, you have to use a Tyrian in order to get that shit to, first off, be stable. Second off, you're not using this at long range. You're using this shit at maybe close to mid-range. Because those shots will fire in like a triangle pattern where they kind of don't hit where you are aiming all the time. Because again, this is without mods. With a mod, you can fix it, but without mods, you can't do shit. And the burst is so spaced apart. It's not spaced apart enough for it to be bad, but it's not close enough for it to be good. So maybe mid tier. It's got to be.
Personally, I'm
in
not
the
a fan
middle.
of burst fire weapons, though the Argus is the burst fire gun with the most damage.
The issue with this gun is its accuracy. It's completely ass, and you won't be able to use it at longer ranges.
The Argus
Yeah.
is all right, but there are way better assault rifles.
Yeah, and the reload sucks. I don't like that. I don't like that reload. If you're gonna use this, you might as well just use the Maddock. The Maddock is a much better weapon. It's not burst fire. It's single shot, but it'll perform so much better. Just use that instead. It's a Cerberus gun. Who cares?
I would put it in mid tier personally.
The gun is way too situational. You may as
Yeah.
well use a shotgun.
Might as well.
Mid-tier it is, and next up is the M25 Hornet, a 3-round burst.
Okay, the Hornet is fucking good. I've used it. Okay, so the Hornet was the SMG that I used the most until I got the Talon. Because the Talon is just a shotgun. It's a pistol shotgun that was just better. So, but not including mods. Not including mods, I say it's pretty good. I want to put that in maybe high. Because the reload for it is that super fast one. Because all the SMGs have a quick reload, but the Hornets is especially fast, where it's just clip. You just throw that shit in. It's pretty good.
Submachine gun.
A really good SMG, it has high damage, a good rate of fire, and its reload is lightning quick.
Worth pointing out that squad mates and burst fire
Cannot
weapons
use
mixed
that.
like taco.
They cannot use it. Okay, so the problem is that for some reason, and I've seen that, whenever they have burst weapons, the AI will make them shoot like maybe once. Like, I don't know how it's bugged, but they shoot literally one time and get one bullet out at a time instead of it burst firing. Maybe it's coded different for AI versus the player, which would make sense because even Cerberus uses weapons different than we do.
Bell and a laxative. For some reason, the squaddies only fire one shot at a time, so they don't utilize the weapons well.
Still a good gun. Definitely a
Yeah, it's still
top-tier
pretty good.
SMG. It's going into top tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Now we're at a heavy hitter. It's the M300 Claymore.
The Claymore is
Okay, so the Claymore is pretty fucking good. A fun fact, the Claymore, if I recall correctly, it would break the arms of anyone that was not a Krogan. And that was one of the advertisements for people getting it. And people would still try to use this thing. Shepard in Mass Effect 2 was able to because of, the synthetic enhancements, but he's not necessarily a normal person. So we can't count him because no normal person would headbutt a Krogan. Just saying.
perhaps the single most overrated gun in the trilogy. It is
But-
literally only
But in my opinion, it's top tier. It's very, very top tier. But without mods, with mods, it's top tier. Without mods, probably it's just good. Because it has really good damage and it has the one shot. So those are two things that are both good and bad. Its damage is amazing, but it only has one shot, and you have to get really close, which on Insanity, you will die. If you're not a Vanguard, you're dead. Or rather, no. You have to be a Vanguard, a soldier, or an infiltrator, because infiltrators get the tack cloak. The cloak, when you uncloak with the Claymore, most things are dead. The only thing is that, again, the one shot is kind of what limits it.
good on Vanguard, where you're able to charge directly into an opponent and
That, and there are weapons that are just as good as it that don't have that restriction. Even though it's cool, you're gonna have to say there are better weapons, surprisingly.
shoot them.
Joe, you better stop right there before I come over there and make you stop.
The damn thing needs to be reloaded every shot. The reload is long as hell, and it's insanely heavy, so you can't even equip a sidearm with it.
Barack,
You don't
play some
need one.
audio of the Claymore firing.
That thing sounds like a fucking cannon. It is amazing.
I rest my case.
You think it sounding cool is a good counter argument?
I'll admit that Joe made a pretty good case against the Claymore. There are definitely better shotguns down the line. However, the Claymore isn't just good on Vanguards. Infiltrators and soldiers can utilize it too.
Put the
I mean, even hard coping, maybe, no, engineers can't really get away with it. I would say Sentinels, because they're tanky. But at that point, again, you just have better options, so don't.
Claymore in God tier. It's the weapon of a real man. Little baby Sleepy Joe just can't handle it.
Nah, Joe had a point about the Claymore being way too overrated.
Yeah.
It's a really good gun though, so I'm going to put it in good tier.
Yeah,
Rose lost his damn.
keep in mind, this is only because of no mods. With mods, it goes into top tier, but no mods. You can't use anything.
Mind.
Next up, we've got the M6 Carnifex.
We get this
The
pistol from
hand
Morden
cannon
in
that
Mass
fucking
Effect 2,
snipes.
and it shows because this thing is a cannon.
And it's pretty accurate at long range too, even without a scope. In Mass Effect 2, the Carnifex is easily the best weapon to give your squad mates.
Exactly.
It's a great upgrade from the Predator, which you start with in Mass Effect 2.
It has a slower fire
Yo, what do you mean by that?
rate, more recoil, and less ammo capacity than the Predator.
So what, just land headshots?
Yeah, just literally cap everyone in the head. It's literally a hand cannon. Again, this is without the scope. I prefer not to use the scope because the scope makes it easier to do that.
None of that will matter. Barack, let me get a sound check on the Carnifex.
You know it.
I fucking remember that damn thing.
Listen to that beauty moan.
Starting to think Donald wants to do a bit more than just shoot the gun.
Going to put the Carnifex in top tier. It's
Yep.
a great.
Okay, so the only reason it goes in the top tier and not God tier is because if you look down there, the Paladin exists. The Paladin is literally the better version. That one is God tier. It's gotta be.
Great pistol. And we get it from one of the best characters in the game. Moving on, we have the M29 Incisor.
Okay, so the Incisor is in the same place as the Argus. It's not as bad because the shots are faster. And it used to be crazy in Mass Effect 2, but in Mass Effect 3, it's kind of good. It's good. It's not mid. It's kind of just good. Because again, no mods. You can't use mods, so it's good. In my opinion, anyways. I feel like it's just good. And it's sometimes hard because it was nerfed from Mass Effect 2. Because the burst would be like a butterfly flapping its wing where it would like immediately. But they spaced it out so it did get nerfed. So I would say it definitely would have to go in good. Because if we got the old version, it'd be better.
Such an unsatisfying sniper rifle, it has no impact whatsoever.
Get out of here, Donald. The Incisor gives you far better consistent damage than something like the Mantis.
If you want consistent firing, you'd be better off using
Using a whole different fucking gun. Why are you using... Listen. If you want consistent firing, it sounds like you're using the wrong weapon. Don't get me wrong. Definitely room for skill expression by having weapons like this. But there are just certain things that sometimes I look at. Like the fact that clearly someone mixed up in the factory. Like someone mixed up the Indra and the Saber. Because how is the Indra a fucking sniper rifle and the Saber is an assault rifle? Now, see, that doesn't make sense right there.
something like the Viper or even the Indra. At least you can control those. The Incisor is a burst fire sniper rifle.
And not even a good one at that. Like, okay, the burst is not good. It used to be so much better, but again, it got nerfed.
Which makes it less precise. And it's way heavy for how little damage it does.
There are so many better options than the Incisor across the board. Put it in trash tier.
You know what? They've convinced me because I don't use it. I can make it work, but again, I've never tried it without mods. So I have yet to see the full scope of it. I don't even like the weapon anymore in Mass Effect 3. In 2 I'll use it, but in 3 I steer clear. I don't even try.
A strong case for the most useless sniper rifle.
Next up is probably the most iconic weapon of the games, the M8 Avenger.
It's mid. It's not trash. It's very mid. It doesn't do too good. It doesn't do too bad. It sounds awful. It basically, in my opinion, might as well be trash tier. But it can do stuff sometimes if you have the right class. Because a soldier, I think soldier can use it effectively. Adepts, because the thing is that the Avenger is light. It's very light, and it has decent fire. It has decent fire rate, and it has a decent capacity, but it's still pretty mid.
It may be iconic, but the Avenger is pretty bad. It has low damage per shot.
It's light as a feather, though, making it a great weapon for power-based classes like Engineer. Plus, it has a ton of spare ammunition, decent accuracy, and a good reload.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the Avenger is just not a good gun.
Yeah, it's just a fucking piece of shit, dude. Like after Mass Effect 2, I don't know. Again, the Incisor was nerfed. The Avenger was nerfed. What was it? The Maddock, I think also. Yeah, no, not I think, I know. The Maddock also was in Mass Effect 2, and it was nerfed as well. Believe it was automatic, but they technically brought that one back. But it was a different version of the Maddock.
After the first couple of missions. And you should probably be replacing it as soon as you pick up
ASAP.
something new, like the Vindicator or the Maddock.
Yeah.
Both of which show up fairly
Better.
early in Mass Effect.
The Vindicator is better, much better. Even though, in my opinion, again, burst weapons are kind of meh. I would prefer one shot and that dude's dead.
2 and 3, respectively. As such, we're going to have to put the Avenger in trash tier.
It is absurd to
Again, I'm not sure. Because, again, I've used it and I can get it to work. But, like, after a while, you just stop using that shit. Like, I would agree that it's pretty fucking garbage. And it sounds awful. That's why they don't play the sound of it. It literally sounds like a pea shooter. It sounds awful.
put such a historic gun in trash tier. It would be like putting the assault rifle in Halo.
Don't listen to him. The Lancer is so much better, and that is the real historic weapon because that's the kind of gun that was used in the Turian Blitz when it was literally the first contact.
In trash tier. The disrespect you're showing is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Except Halo's assault rifle is actually pretty
Good.
versatile and useful for most of
The
them.
Avengers
Joe,
shit.
your lack of knowledge on this topic is showing. Why don't you stick to simping for Kasumi?
Whatever,
Yeah.
man, I ride or die with the classics.
Next on the chopping block is the N7 Hurricane.
The N7 Hurricane's not that bad. It's okay, but again, without mods, it kind of doesn't do very much. You might as well just use the Hornet. The Hornet does way more damage. The Hurricane literally doesn't really do anything. But the reload for it is fast. So you can apply a lot of ammo types to it. So that may save it. It's kind of okay. But I don't find myself using it very, very often.
Sound check.
Got
There you
that
go.
thick burr sound.
Automatically in top tier just for that
No.
alone.
I'll admit I'm a fan of the Hurricane. The fire rate is absurd, giving it the highest damage output.
The only reason not to use the Hurricane is just personal preference. The fact
Pretty
that you
much.
could get this gun from early on in Mass Effect 3 through the N7 Collector's Edition pack was absurd.
Which I fucking got. I fucking got that shit. I got that along with the Kingdoms of Amalur armor set and one of my favorite weapons in the entire game, the fucking Chakram launcher. The Chakram launcher is literally one of the best weapons in the whole game to me because it had everything without mods, which I hope they talk about.
And now it only cost a mere 75,000 credits in the Legendary Edition.
The only caveat with the Hurricane is its high recoil and inaccuracy. But a steady hand can keep that under control.
Yup.
The gun is so good
It's
you may as
pretty
well
good.
use it over most weak shotguns and assault rifles. It's a god tier gun.
Yeah, because of its versatility and the fact that you can get it early if you have the code. It's not too bad. I would say top tier, but you know what? It being god tier is pretty good.
Something you got to pick up at least once. On to another shotgun. We've got the N7 Crusader.
My favorite shotgun in the game. The N7 Crusader is the most accurate shotgun that I have ever seen in Mass Effect, period. You know how you have a crosshair in your little sandbox? Whenever you put, and again, I know we're trying to say without mods. With mods, if you put the smart choke on there that increases your accuracy, you get a plus symbol on it, and you can snipe people with the fucking Crusader. That thing is pretty fucking good.
Now this is a good shotgun. The Claymore wishes it was the Crusader.
Get out of here with that, Joe. The Claymore pounds the Crusader.
I don't know about that.
I don't know
one,
about
Donald.
that.
The Crusader is essentially the Black Widow of shotguns.
Yes.
You trade some damage for a better fire rate and,
And
a slightly
accuracy.
lighter gun.
Not to mention the Crusader is far more accurate at medium range. You don't have to make the opponent literally deep
Yeah,
throat
see,
the barrel
look,
for it
look. Fuck. Hang on.
to be effective.
Watch.
Look. You see this? It's a fucking plus. That shit is normally like this. But it's so accurate that it's a fucking plus symbol. That is why it is so good, is because of its accuracy. That is why you use it.
The phrasing there, Joe.
I meant it the way I said
And
it.
it sounds
Anyway,
good
the Crusader
too.
definitely goes above the Claymore. It's just a more applicable gun all around.
Top
so
tier,
I'm thinking good
easy.
tier, maybe even top.
Yeah,
Should go in
top
God
is
tier.
better.
The gun has no match.
No, I don't know about that one. Okay, so spoiler alert. The Geth plasma shotgun is just better than most of these weapons because it one-shots most things because it's a cheater. Most Geth weapons are just cheaters.
I don't think so. Only the soldier class can utilize it without getting a cooldown reduction. Besides, it's not that much better than the Claymore.
The Claymore is literally heavier than the Crusader.
Exactly.
And has significant.
That, and I will have to say the cooldown reduction is not that bad. Like, I've literally gone max weight as a fucking adept before and was able to keep up. Or max weight as a sentinel and we were fine.
Significantly less accuracy for just a tiny bit more damage. The Crusader clears. It's going into top tier.
Yeah, we'll see who clears who when I shoot you dead in one shot when you need at least two.
Quit yapping, Donald. Next up, we have the N7 Eagle.
The Eagle is a pea shooter. It's terrible on armor and
It has applications with elemental ammo. It basically is a pistol that wants to be an SMG so fucking bad. And I don't know how it's an N7 weapon. But hey, listen. It's okay. It's not too bad. I wouldn't say trash. Probably mid. Mid or lower than mid.
only decent on shields and health.
To think you insulted my intelligence on guns. Donald the Eagle is the only fully automatic pistol with a
In the
good
game.
supply of thermal clips.
It's essentially an SMG that is directly comparable to the Casa Locust. In fact, it stands up to the M13 Raptor II. It's a good gun, definitely something you...
I thought there would be a lot more harsher to it. Because, I mean, it's not like it's too bad. I just personally don't use it because there's just better weapons like the Acolyte. Or you could use the Paladin. But you know what? Fair, well, you know, all the power to it. Fair point.
want to replace the Predator with, it's going into good tier.
The
Uh-huh.
M90
It's pretty
Indra is
decent.
next.
I'm not even sure what this gun is supposed to be. It's the only...
Yeah, the fucking Indra, again, I'm convinced that the factory that made it got their plans mixed up with the Saber. The Saber was supposed to be the Indra, and the Indra was supposed to be the Saber. Because the Indra is a sniper rifle, but it's basically an assault rifle. And the Saber is an assault rifle, but it's like a fucking Barrett 50 cal. So what are we doing?
fully automatic sniper, and it has low damage per shot, so you can't even execute anything with it. Why wouldn't you just use an SMG or assault rifle instead?
And even if you hip fire with it, you still receive a damage penalty, making this thing even...
Making it worse. So, but the thing is that elemental application, I will say, is the reason why you would do it. If you want to apply over long distances, but you're better off just using a different weapon.
less good.
Gun is useless in my books. Its lightweight and ammo capacity don't count for shit when you can't kill anything with it.
Yeah.
Trash tier, this
Trash.
gun has never done me any favors. Next is the Faceton, a pretty decent weapon that has a greater ammo capacity.
Okay, the Faceton is good. The Faceton is actually my go-to Turian weapon. It's a Turian gun. It's like a middle between... What is it? It's like the midpoint between the Avenger and the Revenant. It's not got as big of an ammo capacity as the Revenant, but it's not shit like the Avenger. It's pretty good. I'd put that in good tier. That was a weapon that I know because I've used it for thousands of hours. It is pretty good.
And rate of fire than the Avenger,
It's
while
pretty good.
simultaneously being lighter than the Revenant.
You get it relatively early on, too. You can find it during the Turian platoon mission.
Too bad this gun is completely outclassed by the M7 Lancer in every conceivable way. I always knew humanity had better guns than the birds.
Donald's hate boner for Turians aside, he's right that the Faceton is outclassed by other guns.
It is.
So we'll put it in the mid tier, not bad, but
Yeah, I think you know what? Fair, because we can't put it in the same category as the Crusader, so it would have to go into mid tier. I'm getting the feel for how they're ranking things, so I'll probably do a better job.
it's lacking. M12 Casa Locust is up next.
If we're judging this gun
Garbage.
off its Mass Effect 2 iteration, it's easily God tier.
Yeah,
the Casa
this version
Locust is a
is-
straight-up requirement if you're playing
this
Adept,
version is
Engineer, or
garbage.
Sentinel. You're basically throwing if you don't immediately go get it from Kasumi's loyalty mission after Freedom's progress.
Yeah, but Mass
The
Effect
Locust
3
is insanely
is
accurate,
garbage.
making it significantly better to use than the Tempest, and it does good damage against armor.
The Locust, as good as it was in Mass Effect 2, gets power crept on in Mass Effect 3.
It does.
It keeps a lot of the same advantages, but you don't get it until damn near the end of the game. And by then,
Might
you've
as
got
well-
numerous other SMGs
Yeah, you
that are
could just
just
use
as
something
good, if
else.
not better.
Still going to put the Locust in good tier. It's only God
fair.
tier in Mass Effect 2 because its only competition are the Shuriken and Tempest.
Yep.
The Disciple is next. It's an accurate and light shot.
I mean, maybe, because it's got applications. I don't think that the damage is too good. So, because God tier is a perfect weapon where it has literally no disadvantages really at all, or the disadvantages don't matter. Now the Disciple is an Asari shotgun. It's okay. That's all I can say about it. It's okay.
Gun, making it great for power-reliant classes.
Too bad it has minimal stopping power. If you want to use a shotgun, you want something with some impact to it.
It's an all right weapon, good tier for sure.
Now we have the M77 Paladin, which in my opinion is a worse Carnifex.
Worse? I don't know about that one, Chief. But again, this is without mods. I always mod out my weapons.
The Paladin does more damage, but the Carnifex has a higher magazine
Accurate
size
and
overall
accuracy.
capacity.
You can easily get around the ammo issues with powers that reload active weapons like Adrenaline Rush.
Needing a specific class or power is
Is an already a mark down because that means that other classes can't fucking use it to its capacity. So no. I don't know. It's not. It'd probably be. Yeah, because the thing is like the Black Widow increased the shots it can do while lowering the damage, and this would increase the damage but lower the amount of shots.
minus Donald. The Paladin is going in good tier.
Yeah.
The Javelin is up next. Pretty good weapon with some neat perks. It has a one.
The problem with it is the charge up. That is literally the only problem with the Javelin is the charge up. Does a fuck ton of damage if you hit, but the charge up is the issue.
100 centimeter penetration rate, which is enough for most cover, and its scope lets you see through walls.
The charge time before each shot is cheeks, though. It throws off the flow of combat.
Sounds like a personal problem, Joe. And the Javelin has the second highest damage per shot of any gun right behind the Claymore.
That scope makes me want to vomit. It is positively, absolutely, completely filthy.
You're really gonna knock points off it for aesthetics?
You were the one who said we should judge how weapons sound and feel to shoot. That should extend to how they look, too.
Besides, listen to this gun and tell me it sounds good.
All right, I'll
okay.
admit the Javelin sounds like someone is zipping up their fly.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's just blatantly inferior to the Black Widow, just as heavy with way worse firing rate.
And less
Javelin is
shots.
mid-tier at best.
I give it good tier. The gun's damage can't be denied.
I agree. It needs to be in good tier because you basically get Geth sight while you're using it, so you don't have to do anything, and you have penetration, so that way you can shoot through walls, you can shoot through shields, and you do more damage to armor without any mods, so it should go in good tier.
Raw damage isn't enough. Its thermal clip supply is abysmal, so you'll need a sidearm, which will definitely mess with your cooldowns. The Javelin is mid.
Time for the Collector Assault Rifle, which is only available in Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. So
It's okay. I've used it a bit. It took me the longest time to even unlock it, but I've used it. It's not too bad, but it's not too good.
we'll judge it within that and in Mass Effect 2's campaign.
It's just a higher damage version of the Avenger, but with a lower rate of fire and ammo
Yeah.
capacity.
The Collector Rifle is significantly more heavy than the Avenger, and it has no other additional advantages.
So
it's
it's
bad tier, doesn't do much special. Now we've got the M4 Shuriken, the starter SMG.
I'd sooner cut my hands off than ever
So the burst fire isn't too bad, but like it's really inconvenient.
use that gun. Damn thing isn't
It
fully
really
automatic.
is.
It fires a 3-round burst in Mass Effect 2, and it's pretty good. It has the second highest damage and fire rate of all SMGs.
That's 2. We're
There are
talking
only
about 3.
3 SMGs in Mass Effect 2, Joe. Not a lot of competition.
Yep.
Try comparing it to guns in 3. You really going to tell me that paintball gun is worth using over the Hurricane or the
No.
Locust?
The Shuriken in Mass Effect 3 does level up from a 3-round burst to a 6-round one, but it's still pretty lame. There are far better SMGs. Trash tier gun,
Yep.
you have so many other better options.
Yep.
The M22 Eviscerator is up next, and it's an actual good shotgun.
The Eviscerator does
The Eviscerator is what you do when you literally have no other options and you're just tired of using the Shuriken. It's just okay. It's kind of mid. I don't really
Eviscerate a
like
damn
it.
thing. The gun has no power. It's way weaker than the Claymore.
But it's
So
light
what?
though.
It has a larger magazine and is better at range, making it applicable at mid-ranges.
The Eviscerator is pretty decent, and a sizable upgrade over starter shotguns like the Katana. I'd put it in good tier.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It's a much
That's
lighter
fine.
gun, too, making it more applicable
Makes
to more
complete
classes.
sense to me.
Let's talk about the M5 Phalanx in Mass Effect 2. This is a personal
I like the sound of it. And it is pretty accurate. It's not the Carnifex, but it's pretty good.
favorite of mine. Its laser sight makes the gun 100% accurate.
Coded weapon, the bullet travels to whatever the laser has painted.
Why don't you use a sniper like a real man?
Sometimes it's nice to use a variety of weapons, Donald. Plus, I don't
Yep.
always play soldier or infiltrator.
Well, the
There you go.
Phalanx loses its laser sight in Mass Effect 3, so now you have to actually get good with it.
An
Yep.
unfortunate shame because without the laser sight, the Phalanx is just the Predator besides the fact that it has low weapon weight.
Put it in
Exactly.
mid-tier, it's a really good pistol
It's
in 2, but it
okay-ish.
falls behind in 3.
The M92 Mantis is a good starter sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Not a fan of it personally. Low.
Okay, so you can do some pretty clever reload cancels with it. And there is a glitch that you can do with infiltrators that get you to be able to shoot twice with the Mantis before you have to reload. But it's okay. It's not the Black Widow, but it's
ammo
pretty good.
capacity, and you have to reload after every shot. The Viper is far better.
The Viper is a better gun, except that in the hands of your squad mates, you don't take advantage of the rapid fire ability and only use a single shot.
The Mantis is still one of the better early game guns in Mass Effect 3, easily the most powerful you can start with.
It's a mid-tier gun that can keep you going until you pick up something
I agree.
else.
My name is Joe. Before I came
Time
to
to skip
treatment,
that.
Now we have the M37 Falcon, a rather unique assault rifle since it is a grenade launcher about to get back on my demo man.
Okay, so the problem, and you already see it, the Falcon sometimes bounces off surfaces instead of exploding off of them like it's supposed to. So it's not bad. It's not bad, but it requires a lot more it requires map knowledge and enemy knowledge, so that way you know the distance that you have to shoot in order to get it to detonate on impact. Otherwise, it bounces off.
Streak.
I didn't take you for a demo man player, Barry. I'm partial to Junkrat and Overwatch.
Plus, even let's say with mods, penetration does nothing for this thing. Like it literally doesn't do, because it explodes. You're better off if you're gonna use the Falcon, just use the Striker assault rifle. The Striker's better. It's literally the same gun.
Myself.
You mean Spam Rat? Don't you ever compare that low IQ character to a goat like the demo man ever again?
TF2 elitism, Barack. In 2023, the year of our Lord.
The Falcon is reliable in a lot of ways. It can stun enemies caught in the blast radius, and it can prime multiple targets if you use ammo powers.
It's a
Yep.
niche gun with unique uses. but you can't get it until the end of a standard playthrough. It's still
So basically, it pretty much is useless because by the time you get it, you can't do anything with it. It's meant for New Game Plus runs.
a good tier.
The M9 Tempest is up next. And
It's
while
okay.
it's technically an upgrade to the Shuriken in Mass Effect 2,
You have better options.
I'd rather not use an SMG at all.
The Tempest has some of the worst accuracy I've seen. The gun is only good.
Yeah, you literally have to get in their face in order to get the Tempest to function correctly. And at that point, you might as well just use a shotgun.
When you're up in someone's grill. Otherwise, good luck hitting them.
The good
Yeah.
thing about the Tempest is it's better in the hands of your squad mates than the
Than
Castle
with
Locust
us.
is.
The Tempest has its uses, being better than the Locust and Shuriken, but it's easily outclassed by other SMGs in Mass Effect 3.
We'll put the Tempest in good tier and head off
Yeah.
to the Geth Plasma shotgun.
Now that's a
Now that is a fucking good shotgun. The Geth Plasma shotgun does so much damage that it goes past the damage cap. The little meter that tells you how much damage it does, that shit goes off the chart. It actually does. That's with mods, by the way. But that thing does so much damage. You can 3-shot Atlases with that damn thing. You can kill brutes. Like, it is a boss killer. The Geth Plasma shotgun is, I think, Mass Effect 3's biggest mistake because that weapon has never been power creamed. Yeah, you have to charge it up, but it kills everything in the game. I would rather charge up if I can kill everything in the game with 0 difficulties. Like, I'm talking charge up, bam, dead. It usually does not struggle against anything in the game. Easily a top tier weapon. In fact, God tier. That is a God tier gun. It is God, especially if you use that shit as an infiltrator. Which, by the way, if you're using it as an infiltrator, start charging the shot, then use your tac cloak. Because if you tac cloak and then start charging, you immediately decloak because it counts as shooting the weapon. So charge it first, and then while you're charging it, then cloak up.
goat weapon.
This motherfucker is finally making some damn sense. Even I'll admit the Geth created a pretty damn good shot.
They
In
did.
Mass Effect 2, the Geth Plasma shotgun
That
has some
shit
great
is
perks, such as
broken.
having a slight target-seeking ability.
And the shit is long range. Who made this? The Geth were angry. The Geth were fucking mad. Who designed this? Because bro just had demons that day.
When it's aimed down sights, making it very effective at mid and even long range.
My favorite tech is firing one shot and then briefly charging a second, so you get 2 quick blasts off at once.
The Geth Shotty also ignores
God
armor
tier.
damage reduction in Mass Effect 3.
God tier.
Is still effective at long range.
It
and
is
still
God
keeps its
tier.
tracking ability.
Plus,
Easily.
the Geth Plasma shotgun doesn't benefit from a lot of mods.
I think, out of all the arguments, all 4 of us right now are going to agree that this is a God tier gun. It is God tier.
So you're
super
given a lot of freedom
easily.
in what you want to use.
God tier gun can't even be mad about it being higher than the Claymore. The Geth
Yeah,
shot
there's
is
no
absolutely
dispute.
nutty.
The Abysmal M3 Predator is next.
Weak ass gun, not worth the space
Trash.
that was used to craft it.
In its
Trash,
defense, the Predator is a starting weapon. It exists to get you through the opening areas.
which is fine.
It's lightweight,
It's still
which will
trash
be
though.
beneficial if you're an adept.
You're still
Still
better
trash.
off ditching it the second you find something better. Nothing more than a stopgap weapon. It goes in the trash tier,
There you go.
taking us to the M13 Raptor.
I like the Raptor. It's a lighter version of the Matic.
Well, it's not the Matic. It's a sniper rifle, and
Yep.
it can't even one-hit kill anything.
The
Nope.
Raptor is similar to the Indra, but has the
The Raptor is similar. Okay, so imagine the Viper, and because the Raptor is the weapon that the enemies, the Nemesis, they use the Raptor. It's good, and you can rapid fire with it. It basically is like the space version of the Dragunov, where you could rapid fire that thing like crazy. It's okay, but the damage could be better, but it's not too bad. So it's pretty good. The Raptor's not bad at all.
advantage of being better to hip fire, making it better in close combat.
Uh-huh.
It's really a hybrid between sniper and assault rifle, so we'll put it in mid-tier. Average at 2 things.
Uh, Average at two things, but a good balance between the two. That's fine. I'd say it's good, but at the same time, I can't put it in the same category as the Crusader, so I have to agree.
but it doesn't excel at anything else.
The Geth Pulse rifle is next, and as expected.
Okay. The pulse rifle, I don't know what to say about it because it is good. It has a massive, massive clip size. The damage from it is not very high, but it has a huge clip size. It has no recoil. And you can apply with elemental ammo, you can apply anything because it has a fast fire rate. So I would hard put this in mid tier based off of what they're doing. It has to be between mid and good. It is in between there, maybe high key if you're including mods and stuff. Then you can put it in high, but otherwise it's going to be in mid or good.
Of the bots, they can only do one thing good because the Geth rifle is a paperweight.
That's not true, Donald. The rifle has great accuracy and rate of fire, making it good for suppressive fire.
Too bad the gun does virtually zero damage and is especially
Apply
ass
ammo.
cheeks on armor.
The Geth rifle does
Apply ammo types. It's so much better if you apply ammo types, otherwise this gun doesn't do shit.
less damage per shot than the Avenger, despite weighing the same. It's a trash tier gun. You need weapon mods to make this gun viable.
Okay, fair. Fair. I literally said that. I said you have to mod it in order for it to be good.
Now we're onto a real fucking gun, the Blood Pack Punisher.
Oh my god, I fucking love that thing. That is an SMG that hits hard as fuck. You get that shit in multiplayer too, and you play as a Vorcha. Oh yeah, you're having fun. You are having fun with that goddamn gun. That thing hits hard.
Unique gun that shreds armor with a special bonus round.
I hate it. The additional round it fires causes the gun to completely fly out of the player's control.
Shut up. Don't listen to Joe. Joe's the same person who likes the Avenger. It's fucking trash.
I will admit, the kick on the Punisher is pretty heavy.
It's also inaccurate as hell.
It's still a top tier
Doesn't.
gun. It's
Whoa, 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 whoa. It basically is no different than the Tempest, but it does way more damage and has an extra kick at the end. Definitely gonna say it has to be good.
Laws keep it from climbing to God tier, but I'll be damned if this gun goes lower than top.
The weapon's weight is too high, too. What class is it even for?
The Punisher is a good backup for infiltrators, but I think it's pretty flawed. It's going in the good tier.
Okay, I was about to say I will end the video right now if it does not go in good, because it is good. It's not top tier because I can't put it in the same spot as the Hornet, the Crusader, and shit. Like I can't put it. I cannot put it in the same category as it, but I could put it in the same as the Claymore and shit.
Time for another
I could
unique
put it
weapon
there.
and favorite of mine, the Grail Spike Thrower.
I believe that the Grail Spike Thrower is, because I've used it. I believe, because obviously by the name it throws spikes. I forget if it's a Batarian or if it's a Krogan weapon. It's one of those, but it does pretty good damage. It's close. It's close to the Geth Plasma Shotgun, but it does not have those extra bonuses. It basically is just a shotgun at that point, which I think will probably lower it to maybe not top tier even, because without those bonuses, the shit is probably just good because it does high damage and it bleeds. So you know what? It makes people bleed. So maybe good to top tier because the extra bleeding is pretty fucking good. And I think it pierces armor, but I'm not sure. I don't think that it does by default, but I think it's pretty good because it stuns the fuck out of enemies if they don't die, and while they're stunned, they're taking bleeding damage.
First off, let's do a sound check.
That sound. That shit sounds rough.
That charge-up sound is music to the ears.
And
It
the
is.
impact, magnifique.
My other favorite thing about this weapon aesthetically is how brutal it is.
Exactly.
Spike thrower isn't figurative. This
It
shotgun
literally
throws
shoots
superheated
spikes.
spears into its target. This causes enemies to stagger regardless of whether you charge it or not.
It's also very accurate, allowing for effective use at
In
medium
long
range.
range.
Personally, I have no issues with this shotty. It's lighter than some of its counterparts, but
You know what? That is better. I was hoping that they would. That is better than what than what I thought they were gonna do. Cause I really like the Grawl spike thrower, especially if you use it with the what is it, the Batarian soldier, the one that have the ones that have the ballistic spikes. That shit is fucking lit.
still does devastating damage.
It
And it's
does.
insanely satisfying to use.
God tier gun, it's something everyone should try out at least once.
At least
I don't
once.
mess with shotguns like that, but I definitely like the Growl.
The Grail is going into God tier. Our next gun is the Scorpion Heavy Pistol.
Nah, this pistol is goated.
I'm trying to remember. Is that the one that shoots the grenades? If it's the one that shoots the grenades, then yeah, it's pretty good. Because I think it literally shoots sticky grenades.
Fire sticky grenades. That
Okay, then yeah, I had to be sure. It shoots the sticky grenades. This is pretty fucking good. It's pretty good. It's good for crowd control capabilities. And it does a lot of damage.
stun targets on contact just long enough for them to explode.
Even Brutes and Geth Primes are staggered by it.
I usually prefer my guns big and girthy, but,
But
the
this is
Scorpion
okay.
satisfies my
This is
needs
pretty
by blowing
fucking
up
good.
targets into
Put that
chunks.
shit.
Yep.
Put that shit in top tier because it does have a weakness.
Only complaint with the Scorpion are its capacity and weight, but elsewise, it's a damn fine gun. And we're putting it in top tier.
Fair.
The gun was so good that
Perfect.
Garrus took one look at it and immediately wanted one.
Yep.
Next up is the N7 Valiant.
A great all-rounder.
The Valiant is basically the, it's like imagine the the intervention from MW2. That's the vibes that I get from the Valiant. The Valiant is pretty good. It's basically the Viper, but it does damage almost comparable to a Widow, but you have multiple shots. I mean multiple. Like I'm talking 10 or 12.
Sniper rifle, good fire rate, damage, and reserve thermal.
Oh, damn. 3? Y'all gotta fucking mod the fuck out this thing. Y'all gotta mod that.
It also has
But
less
yeah,
recoil
3 shots,
than
it's
the
pretty
Black Widow
good.
2, making it better for landing consistent shots.
Definitely a top tier gun if you don't
Top
want to use
tier
something as heavy
easily.
as
The
Black.
only reason that it's not as good as the Black Widow is because the Black Widow just does more damage. It does way more damage. You'll need at least 2 to 3 shots to kill certain mobs. You need at minimum 2 shots. The Black Widow needs 1. So that's the reason why it has to go in top tier.
Widow, but want something more powerful than the Viper.
Now y'all know what gun is coming up next. It's the motherfucking M96 Matic.
Now the Matic is fucking good. The Matic is a single shot Cerberus weapon. And that motherfucker does so much damage. It has good capacity. It has decent fire rate. It has no recoil. And it's accurate as fuck. That shit is top tier. It is top tier. Cerberus knew what they were doing with that gun. It is easily top tier. It cannot be God tier because there's a better version, but it's top tier.
It's a goat assault rifle. It's single fire, but has excellent accuracy, making it basically the same thing as the Viper.
It is a bit too bad it has such a low ammo capacity for an AR.
Doesn't matter because the base
It's
damage
accurate.
in Mass Effect 2 is insane. 50.4 clears every other AR in the game.
The Matic is undoubtedly God tier in Mass Effect 2, and still really damn good in Mass Effect 3. I think it should still go in God tier.
Damn.
The only reason that I didn't think that it would go into God tier is because the Cerberus Harrier exists. And the Harrier is broken. That shit literally is the Matic on steroids. But you know what? Fair. Because I really like the Matic. And in fact, most people who have played multiplayer and most people who have played single player would agree. It's pretty good.
Straight, especially since you can get it during the Grissom Academy mission. That's super
That Joe won't fucking do and sucks at.
super early in the game.
I feel like if I argue against this any further, there will be a witch hunt for me, so very well. The Matic is God tier.
How do we feel about the Geth Plasma SMG?
Good weapon.
Good weapon. Again, Geth weapons have high fire rate. Okay, and okay, and a bonus. When it's firing and it's charging up, like the fire rate, they look like bunny ears. Enough said. Top tier. No, but for real though, maybe good to top tier, like actually, because it has a lot of ammo. It's decent enough on the reload. It's not too bad, and shit, the fire rate is insane. It has to wind up, mind you, but that's just Geth weapons in general. They always do that, unless we're counting the Geth pulse rifle, which no one counts it.
And I think it makes a pretty satisfying sound too.
Let's do a sound check.
That hum is the stuff of dreams.
Too bad the gun is horribly impractical to use. The Geth SMG needs to rev up before it starts doing any real damage.
Yeah, and you need
that
mods.
means you have to stick your head out of cover too often.
True, and if you don't get it to rev up, then you're just using the weapon with the least damage per shot of any
Yeah.
weapon, making it ass against armor.
This presents a problem if you're class that uses powers, because if you stop firing, you're going to need to rev it back up
You
again.
most certainly will.
The Geth Plasma SMG is bad tier, probably even trash.
Wow. What? At least put it in mid. Damn. I really keep taking my shit for granted. Because I usually will just stun a target. Because it's good for bosses. It's really good for bosses.
I'd call it bad personally. It has some uses, but the revving up holds it back.
It really does.
And other classes have far better options.
Yeah.
Absurd. The Geth SMG is cool and doesn't deserve to go in bad tier.
I don't think
Rule
it
of
does
cool can
either,
only
but
carry
fine.
you so far. It's bad tier. Following that, we have the M23 Katana.
No argument to be had here. The
okay.
Katana is trash tier.
I can't believe they wasted such a cool name on such a useless gun.
In Mass Effect 2,
It was
the
good.
Katana is rendered totally obsolete from the very beginning of the game because
Yeah.
the Eviscerator exists.
Yeah, because they give you the Eviscerator like soon after, and then that's not including the Claymore, which is even worse. So like you literally get rid of it.
The only reason to use it is because of its larger clip size.
It's not much better in
Which is
3
not
either.
enough.
It has a good reload and all. But its slow rate of fire and weight make it undesirable. You'd be better off with the Disciple.
Straight
Yeah.
into trash tier it is. Now we've got the M358 Talon.
It's a heavy pistol.
It's a heavy pistol that fucking shoots slug rounds. That motherfucker is good. Good tier. Easy. With mods, even high tier. Because something in good tier without mods is high tier. Or rather, something in good tier without mods is top tier. Without. Or rather, with. I'm getting confused. Anyways. Because I can't fucking keep my hand straight. It is a good weapon. I would use it. I have used it. In fact, that is my go-to weapon for all of my adepts. I just use that. Or if you're using a Vanguard, literally just use that. I mean, you could use a shotgun. But I mean, I'm just giving you options. To be more fair, though, I feel like that's a better weapon for, like, the Sentinel. If something gets too close, you're not going to die, but you just want to get rid of it. Blam, Talon, dead. Move on.
That behaves like a shotgun, and it sounds like one too. Peep it.
It really does.
It's relatively heavy for a heavy pistol, but compared to some shotguns,
It's pretty
it makes
fucking
a good
good.
substitute.
Good tier gun. Kind of underrated since it can be used as a primary weapon with the right modifications.
Yep.
Now we've got the
Told you.
M97 Viper, a gun we've
It's
brought
alright.
up a few times now.
I consider it
It's all right. Just use the Valiant if you haven't. But I mean, it has more rounds.
a decent upgrade over the
So it's
Mantis,
okay.
despite doing less damage per shot. The automatic nature makes it much more appealing.
The Viper goes through a change in 3, firing slower but gaining
Yep.
more damage per shot. It is also the second lightest
okay.
sniper in the game.
The Viper finds a good balance between the Mantis
Between
and
the two.
Raptor, which makes me want to put it in good tier.
Next looks like the, what is that, chakra launcher?
Its Chakram launcher.
Yeah, the fucking Chakram launcher, put that shit in top tier because it fucking shoots chakrams that explode. And what's funny is that will pierce through shields. It goes and does extra damage to armor. And the detonation stuns. Top tier. Easy.
Fucking weeaboo.
The Chakram launcher is an interesting gun. It fires explosive discs that stun targets on contact and then explode.
Sounds like you're revving up a Beyblade. Let it rip.
Beyblade was mid.
Take that back, you son of a bitch.
Everyone knows Digimon
And the
clears.
reload isn't
Shut
bad.
up, the two of you. Both shows are goated. The Chakram launcher is going in mid-tier. There isn't anything particular.
Mid? Nah, fuck that. That shit's top tier. In my opinion, it's staying in top tier. Put that shit up there.
Outstanding about it, but nothing bad
Put
either.
some respect on
Whether
its
you
name,
use it
dude.
comes down to preference. The AT-12 Raider is next.
Eh.
A two-pump chump shotty.
It might be a 2-pump chump, but its firing rate is quick.
It's firing, yeah, because I was about to say, I mean, the damage is okay, but the thing is that it can go doo-doo. Like, it literally can fire that shit rapidly, and you can get a good reload because it's the faster of the Yeah, it's the second faster of the reloads, where you have to smack the thing and then cock the gun. But you can literally shoot twice, cock, reload, shoot twice, cock, reload, shoot twice. Like, you get into a rhythm with it.
And it does a lot of damage.
Too bad it's ass unless you're in someone's face.
Gotta take shotguns.
It's literally a shotgun. That's what it's for. In fact, Vanguards can abuse that very much.
For what they do, Joe, they're supposed to be close-range weapons.
The Raider joins the mid-tier. It has
Sorry.
advantages, but some disadvantages that hold it back. Next up is the Arc Pistol, a fairly versatile weapon.
So you can either rapid fire this thing just by, spamming it, or you can charge it up and this thing deletes shields. Like, it literally deletes shields to where that's not even a thing. So put it in good tier. I'd put it in good. It's pretty good because, again, you won't see something that deletes shields as easy as the Arc Pistol.
I fuck with the Arc Pistol heavy. You can use it as a semi-automatic or use its charge-up mechanic to make it a cannon that's even more powerful than the Carnifex while still weighting much less.
The issue is you get drawbacks because of
You
that
have to wait.
versatility. If you rapid fire, you're lacking power, and if you charge up, it has a low rate of fire.
Those issues aside, the Arc Pistol is a top-tier gun, extremely powerful and useful.
Hey, listen, no argument from me. That is pretty good. It works.
Next up is the M98 Widow, the OG version of the Black
Top tier. That is something that no one disputes. It's top tier because it has one shot, but that one shot does so much damage. Easily top tier.
Widow.
In Mass Effect 2, this was basically
Broken.
the penultimate sniper, capable of one-shot kills at any...
One shot kills, and that because you would get it after you got to the collector ship, and you had your option to select a weapon. You could either go down to specialization route where you would get the Widow. By the way, this is an infiltrator. I believe you could do that as an infiltrator or as a soldier. But you could get that, or you could get any of the other weapons. But it's pretty fucking good. Yeah, I'll put that in top
range,
tier.
even on high difficulties.
Easily.
It's a clear upgrade from the Mantis.
Going off 2, you'd have to rank it high, but the Widow gets totally eclipsed
By
by
the
its sister,
Black
the
Widow.
Black Widow, which provides more consistent
Yeah,
damage
top
at the cost
tier.
of power.
Comparing it head-to-head with the Black Widow, both weapons weight the same, but you only gain a little damage from using the Widow. But overall, lower DPS since the clip
Okay,
size for
fair.
the Black Widow is 3.
Not to mention that M98 Widow has half
Then
the ammo
probably,
reserve.
The Widow is honestly only
uh,
mid-tier. There are better options setting
Yeah.
aside the Black Widow itself. There are other options that do good damage.
Yeah,
and
I
don't
thought
weigh a
about
ton.
that. That does
Now
make
we've got
sense.
the M76 Revenant.
It's a powerful spray.
Now that's a fucking cheesy mechanic you can do as soldier is broken. You don't ever have to stop shooting with this gun because you never have to reload it.
And pray.
You never have to reload it. Outside of that, it's pretty fucking good.
Gun with a large clip size and a huge amount of
And no
reserve
ramp up.
ammunition.
Too bad its
Immediately.
recoil and stability are ass without mods.
Personally, I'd prefer something lighter and easier to control, but I definitely see
I
the
like
use
it.
for the Revenant. It also sounds really good. Check a look.
That's the Doom guy gun right there.
Accuracy is kind of mid-tier at best.
We're in agreement. It's not a bad
Yeah.
gun, but I'd sooner use the Hurricane.
What about the M27 Scimitar?
A really good rate of fire and has better medium range than the Katana.
Too bad it does less damage than the Katana, so you
Yep.
need to waste more bullets on a single opponent.
I
Yep.
argue the Eviscerator is a far better weapon. The Scimitar is only...
Exactly. The scimitar is like literally an upgrade to the katana, literally by the sword titles. Because one's the katana, this one's the scimitar. But the Eviscerator is just better because it's lighter and it does more damage. So
a little
sorry.
better than the Katana thanks to its higher fire rate.
Bad tier it is then.
Now we're on to a real badass weapon, the M11 Suppressor.
The thing that fucking two-shots people if you hit them in the head because it basically is a Carnifex, but better, and has a suppressor for some reason.
Which you get in the Citadel DLC.
This gun is straight up insanity. The M11 suppressor is
My bad. There we go.
light so that any class can use it.
Uh-huh.
It has good base damage and accuracy,
And no
but those
recoil.
aren't the real advantages.
The M11 suppressor has an unmatched 4 times headshot damage modifier, which allows it to completely annihilate foes that are vulnerable to headshots.
Damn thing is a pocket
is
sniper rifle. Lighter snipers have
Most
nothing on it.
things in the
Compared to
game.
heavier snipers like the Widow Sisters, it can fire more often before needing to reload. This pistol is an obvious god tier. The only
Obviously.
downside is needing to do the Citadel DLC to get it, and many people prefer to do that towards the end of Mass Effect 3.
The gun turns the insanity difficulty into child's play.
It really does.
Next up, a pretty unique weapon, the Chryse Sniper Rifle.
That's the one that explodes that the Solarians made. So it's good, but the problem is that it requires some skill in order to use it correctly. But if you can use it correctly, the Crusade Sniper Rifle is pretty top tier. That being said, on average, without mods, it's probably good. Like somewhere between, we're gonna do between 3 ranks, depending on how they see it. I would put this around good to top tier, but it can be mid without mods because I've never used it without mods.
That's sniper rifle in quotations because this thing is basically a
A
rocket,
rocket launcher.
And it's sick. Just listen to the thing.
In fact, no, I take that back. I don't think that it's Solarian. I think the Turians made this thing. Pretty sure the Turians made it.
Instead of being built around pinpoint accuracy, this sniper lets you just obliterate your opponents,
Yup,
blowing
and
them up
they
into
blow up.
pieces.
And much like other area of effect weapons, the Crusade can
pretty
trigger
effective.
multiple ammo effects, assuming they don't get blown up.
The only downside to the Chryse is its lower reserve of thermal clips, but it passes my vibe test, so it's going into top tier.
Next is the
Yep, there you go.
M99 Saber, a highly accurate and powerful gun. It rivals sniper rifles and has more
Exactly. I don't know. Why the fuck is this an assault rifle? This shit is a sniper. And the Indra is an assault rifle. Just swap them. But yeah, the Saber is literally a sniper. Put a scope on the thing, you'll headshot things to death.
damage per shot than any other AR besides the Falcon.
It still has some notable weaknesses, high weight, recoil, and low ammo.
Okay, and now for my counter argument.
It sounds like a fucking Barrett 50 cal. Should
I
be
rest my
sounding.
case, put it in top tier.
The sound of the gun does boost it, but it's
It
only
does.
good tier.
Agreed, the Saber goes
Good.
into good tier, bringing us to the M11 Wraith, which contrasts the Claymore by doing less damage but has more than one shot per magazine.
The lower fire rate completely removes that advantage.
It's still better than the Claymore thanks
Yeah.
to its lighter weight and better accuracy.
Eh,
You could argue
good.
that the Wraith
It's
is better
good.
for Vanguard since it allows you a bit more breathing room with the charge and Nova window.
If you're so knowledgeable on Vanguard gameplay, why are you so ass at it?
The only
Yeah.
thing stopping me from being better is my own biological clock.
Using age as an excuse, pathetic. My indomitable spirit will carry me even if my body doesn't.
The Wraith is a good gun. In my opinion, it's over the Claymore, but that'll depend on play style, so it's going into good tier.
The
Yeah.
Acolyte is another gun with a unique trait. It only
Yeah, because the thing is the Acolyte also charges up and it shoots like a little grenade, but it's a proximity grenade, so it won't blow up until it comes into contact or gets close to enemies. So it can AoE really well, but I feel like it's not as good as the Scorpion. The Scorpion's just better. It's literally the Asari just making another shitty version of the weapon that is already better.
Fires charged shots, giving it a low rate of fire. But in exchange for that, it does 500% bonus damage against shields and barriers.
True.
Great weapon for dealing with banshees.
Plus the shots
Very
bounce
much.
off things, which lets you do some pretty sick trick
Shots.
if you're big brained like me.
Yup.
Definitely good for classes who can't deal with shields. It's also pretty light, top-tier gun. A pistol to take up if you're...
Maybe I'm just biased. I mean, I've used it, and I will say it's good. I just didn't think it would be top tier, but you know what? Fair. Because I have used it extensively. Most of the weapons that I have used several times on here are always typically in mid or higher. Anything that is in trash or like bad, I usually don't use. Like, watch, for instance, I love the Keyshock harpoon gun and consider that a top tier weapon. I promise you it will be in top tier or good. That's just the good weapons, either whether I feel about it a certain way or not, they're still good. I'm still only using the main good ones.
in the biotic classes.
The
Time for
harpoon
another
gun is
favorite of
hilarious.
mine, the Kishok harpoon gun. It fires a single spike at the opponent and does bleed damage over 5.
That's the one that I think I was confusing the Grok with. This one is fucking hilarious because you can move enemies if they die with it because they ragdoll. But yeah, Keyshock harpoon gun is pretty fucking good. And it does damage to literally everything. As long as it's organic. As long as it has health, you'll be fine. Even armor like takes a good chunk of damage. It's just the bleed portion that basically does nothing.
Seconds.
It's a gruesome weapon, but it only has one downside, and that's its clip capacity.
Aside from that, the harpoon gun makes a great primary or secondary weapon.
It does.
Especially because it doesn't suffer from the damage penalty if shot while unscoped like other snipers. Top-tier weapon. Can't go wrong using.
What did I tell you? Even if I have an opinion about weapons, the ones that I am using all the time are mid-tier or higher. Like, that's just a fact.
And peep the charge-up noise while we're at it.
I fucking love that thing.
Purrs like a dream.
Next up is the N7 Valkyrie. It's semi-automatic and fires a 2-round burst.
Not
It's
a
all
fan
right.
of 2-round burst guns
It's
personally,
okay.
but I can't complain about this gun.
It's pretty
It's at
good.
least a mid-tier. The rate of fire is kind of decent.
That was the pre-order bonus that you got when you ordered it from GameStop. You got the N7 Valkyrie, and you would get you got some armor for it too. I forget what the armor was, but you got some stuff for it along with the From Ashes DLC.
And so is its accuracy
pretty
at
good.
mid-ranges.
Now we have the Regar Carbine.
Deserves a high ranking just
Rigger Carbine, honestly, by default, because of the nature of the Rigger Carbine and how broken it was in multiplayer, deserves to be in top tier. Because they had this little gimmick where the characters who could use flamethrower, which were the Vorcha at the time, the Vorcha just came out, and I believe it was the Vorcha Soldier. They had access to a flamethrower, and the Rieger Carbine, for some reason, was the only gun that could fire at the exact same time as that flamethrower going off, and you would just delete everything in the game. It literally would delete everything in the game, and the devs found it hilarious, but they nerfed that. But it's pretty fucking good.
for the name alone. Rest in peace, Regar.
The carbine does bonus damage against shields and barriers, but is actually 50% less effective on armor. Still, the way it claps up unarmored foes is crazy.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, it has very little ammo and goes through it pretty quick. Plus, the range is abysmal. Going to need to be pretty close up to use it.
Good tier.
As much as I respect Regar, his family's gun is probably only good tier. It's
Yeah.
highly situational. Now we've got the Executioner pistol, and before we talk about it, peep the little growl it gives off.
The gun BM, so the player doesn't have to.
Yeah. Okay, so listen, it basically is like, imagine the Talon but way more damage in one shot.
The Executioner is cold. It can penetrate cover. It even hits harder than the Mantis while weighing a good deal less.
Still, the Executioner is pretty inferior to the Arc Pistol, which has higher damage with its charged shot and has the option to be rapidly fired. So the Executioner is going in good tier.
The Vindicator is next, and it's a pretty clear upgrade over the Avenger, especially since you can get it early.
In turn, the Vindicator falls behind the Matic.
Yeah,
so to be fair, what doesn't?
It ranks between the Avenger and Matic. So
It's
good
kind
tier.
of...
The N7 Piranha has a great rate of fire and low recoil for a shotty, but
N7 Piranha's pretty fucking good because of the drum mag. Otherwise, I mean, you do have better options because you have to get super close in order for it to be effective because the accuracy is absurd. At that point, you might as well just use a different gun.
the accuracy is absolute doo-doo.
Highly situational gun, lethal in the hands of a Vanguard and other
Yeah, Vanguard or a Sentinel. Otherwise, don't use it.
classes that can get close range. Not so good elsewhere, so we're going to put it in mid-tier.
Fair.
Absolute banger gun coming up next. It's the Particle Rifle.
Perfect
Particle rifle is perfect accuracy, has decent charge time. As long as you don't overheat it, then you basically never run into any problems and the damage is not bad. So I would put it in maybe good or top, somewhere between the two. It's not mid.
accuracy with a long range that isn't finite but is still very long. The damage starts out low, but when it ramps up, it
It fucking
quadruples and just melts your
charges.
opponents.
It fucking does
And
a
that's
lot.
literal. Enemies hit by the particle rifle will dissolve into a green goo upon death, and I never get tired of seeing it.
The only
Yup.
downside worth mentioning is the
Overload.
long reload if you happen to overheat the
it.
gun.
Just don't overheat the gun, forehead.
It is also fairly heavy, but that's a minor problem given all the advantages.
It goes in God tier, easily one of the
You know what? Fair. I am completely okay with that because the gun is just that good. It is very good. I'm trying to give it some. I'm trying to give guns critique. Shit, they're just telling it how it is. That is just the truth. It's pretty fucking good.
most applicable and widely used ARs in the game. Next
It
up is
is.
the Venom shotgun.
Sick weapon. It's a grenade launcher that fires one shot, which then splits apart into multiple other smaller grenades.
Though its accuracy and weight do hold it back from being amazing.
Let's put the Venom
Good.
in mid-tier. It's only real.
It's okay. I'd say it was. I'd say it was
Are you
good.
looking-
Yeah, I'd say it's good, but nah. You know what? That's fair because the grenades are just kind of random.
confusing if you think
It's just added because it looks
Cerberus
cool.
Harrier is next, and it's similar to the Matic, doing just a bit more damage, but
It's automatic. That shit is immediately top tier. Don't dispute it. It's top tier. It has to be top or god tier because the damage on it is absurd.
being a bit heavier too.
Although the ammo sucks. The ammo economy for this thing is absolutely awful. It is not good at all.
It's also fully automatic. There are only a few guns that exceed the DPS of the Harrier.
Leave it to Cerberus to cheap out on the clip size, though.
in Cerberus's
real.
defense, they spent billions trying to revive Shepard. The Harrier is super powerful despite its ammo capacity, so I definitely consider it top tier.
Yep.
Now we have the ADIS anti-synthetic rifle.
I don't ever really remember using it. Does it shoot grenades?
Don't let the name fool you. This gun does the same damage to organic and synthetic foes.
Ah.
It does 2x damage against shields and barriers.
That sounds pretty fucking good. I think I've used it a couple times. It's just that, with those other guns, I just don't see a reason to do it. Overall, pretty good. I think it would go into, because I do remember it. I never maxed it though. So I'm gonna go with somewhere between good and high because of how easy it deals with
It
shields.
has a good area of effectability and stuns most enemies.
Giving the gun to a squad mate is a massive mistake, though, because it makes the screen shake like crazy.
Yeah.
Let's put the ADAs in good tier. I have no issue with this gun, and it's pretty cool. Time for a gun I know a lot of people have been waiting for.
The
M7
Lancer.
Lancer.
It's God.
Yeah, it's God tier. Well, let's not fucking dispute that. There's no one saying that it's not God tier.
Here,
Good shit, boys. Now let's talk about it.
it's simple. Just like the
Right.
particle rifle, the Lancer has unlimited reserve ammo, has greater
Don't
damage and lower
overload it.
recoil than the Avenger.
And you're
Plus, it's
good.
incredibly light for how powerful it is. In the hands of a soldier class, especially the gun
Broken.
goes crazy, you can use marksman or adrenaline rush to skip the overheating period. Power-reliant classes like the engineer and sentinel
Can
can
still
also
use
make
it.
use of it without it affecting their powers too much.
Plus, the gun has a serious punch to it. Check it.
The Lancer is literally just an Avenger, but so much fucking better. In fact, it pretty much is the OG Avenger from Mass Effect 1, pretty much, like almost. Because the Avenger in Mass Effect 1 wasn't too bad, and in Mass Effect 2 it wasn't too bad. You just had to reload it. In 3, the Avenger sucks, but the Lancer, that thing is ridiculous.
Oh, good Lord, just give me 5 minutes, 5 damn minutes with that gun?
Donald, just because the gun can't say no doesn't mean it consents to whatever you're planning on doing to it.
We're putting the Lancer in God tier and hitting the
Exactly.
Striker assault rifle. Before anyone says anything, listen to this damn thing.
Nah, hold down the trigger. That shit's automatic. That gun is fucking good. It eviscerates most things. And can stagger bosses super easily.
Oh, Mama, that's not a gun, that's a fucking cannon.
Yep.
I can't deny it. That gun sounds so damn good.
Aside from sounding amazing, the Striker fires an explosive round that
It
can
is
deal
good.
damage to enemies in groups. And it stuns unshielded opponents, matched with its high rate of fire. You can easily keep enemies staggered until they die.
The only downside to this gun is how damn heavy it is. Plus,
Yeah.
there are better guns with explosive ammo.
Agreed, but best believe we're still putting the Striker in good tier.
Exactly. That is where it belongs. Because if you use that shit with characters that are not power reliant, oh yeah, they're fucked.
All the same.
Now we have another Top Gun, the N7 Typhoon.
I think we already know where
That shit goes into top or god tier. Because that shit is fucking good. It basically is the Spitfire. It's like a mix between the Geth Spitfire and the Geth Pulse Rifle, but it's the Alliance's version. It's so much better.
this one is going.
First off, let me get a sound check.
It's pretty fucking good.
The buildup on the firing is crazy.
And it has the performance to match up too.
Exactly.
The Typhoon is certainly the heaviest AR in the game, but that's
But
for
it is
damn good
worth
reason.
it.
First, it's the most effective weapon for your squad mates. Garrus, James, and Ashley can absolutely mow down your opponents without Shepard having to lift a finger.
That's right. This is the gun that's a major component helping Garrus ascend to godhood.
The fact that the Typhoon
Oh
also
my
does
God.
bonus damage against all forms of protection gives it crazy DPS and makes it the perfect weapon for insanity difficulty runs.
Perfect.
It's almost cheating.
Goes without saying. The
God
Typhoon is
tier.
getting that fat God tier ranking. If you're playing on Soldier, there's almost no reason to not
Not
use it. And
use
if you're
it.
in a different class, you should still give it to your squad mates to give you a massive advantage.
Advantage,
Now
and
we'll
it'd be
move on
worth
to the
it.
heavy weapons in Mass Effect 2 before wrapping things up, starting with the ML-77 missile launcher.
This gun has homing projectile.
Okay, so I don't really remember very many things besides just really the missile launcher. But I can do a fair analysis here.
Which makes it perfect for people who can't aim, you know, like you, Joe.
Okay, I do remember that. That one I do remember using. I don't really use it too much because I think you take a damage loss for it having the homing. It's not too
The
bad.
missile launcher doesn't even aim at who you want most of the time. It chooses its own target, including
Yeah.
environmental objects like explosive tanks.
It's your
Plus, the
fault.
rockets are painfully slow, requiring you to time your shots. And the
That's
weapon is
fair.
pretty useless on higher difficulties. There are far better options.
So probably what? Trash or bad?
So we're putting the missile launcher in bad tier.
Yeah.
Now we have the M100 grenade launcher.
That one I fucking remember using. That's the one that I think they start you with, and it's pretty fucking useful.
This is a decent weapon. It has great crowd control, allowing
Uh-huh.
you to pin enemies when they all start spawning out of a single doorway.
Yup.
Damn, I should have brought this weapon when I was doing the Reaper IFF mission.
Yeah,
Would have
you
made all
should've.
those damn husks less annoying.
Despite being the first heavy weapon, the
Mm-hmm. It is
grenade
one of the
launcher
best
is pretty
ones.
useful throughout the game. So we'll put it in
In fact, for my first playthroughs, I didn't even know you could switch. I was like, why would I? There's no reason to.
good tier. It's all right, but gets overshadowed by some of its peers later on.
Now it's time for a little bit of firepower with the M451 Firestorm.
The Firestorm is
Oh,
good.
that's the flamethrower. Okay, now yeah, that one's good because it eats through flesh and it eats through armor.
on armor and can fire continuously until it runs out of ammo.
Uh-huh.
Though it is extremely situational, as it's only really useful on small enemy units.
Yeah.
Against big bosses, I'd rather use anything else.
Personally, I don't
Yeah, pretty much it's basically used for crowd control because there aren't a whole lot of options for crowd control in Mass Effect 2. So basically that's what you're using as your stopping power.
like the Firestorm. Sure, it's a flamethrower, but I'd sooner pick up the grenade launcher.
What's better
True.
than committing a little bit of arson?
Firing a giant black hole instead.
You win this round, Joe.
Okay.
Sticking the Firestorm
True.
in trash tier. The gun is actually completely useless because of the collector particle beam. Anyway, Joe segued us into the M490 Black Storm.
They might be useful.
That just speaks for itself. And we all know where that's going. That shit better go in God tier or so help me.
On the cool factor alone, this gun shoots out a big singularity projectile
And
which
then
implodes
blows
on
the
contact
fuck
and
up.
sends enemies flying.
A pocket black hole is a pretty crazy power. The gun leaves no trace of its victims.
The Black Storm should go in good tier. It has a few problems.
Good. Is the what? Okay, I want to hear this.
Mainly taking a long time to charge up and not being as effective on enemies with armor, barriers, and shields. Still a cool weapon with a...
You know what? That's fair then. Because I haven't used very many of the Mass Effect 2 like heavy weapons because the grenade launcher just gets the job done. I don't waste credits on it. I have been trying to get more of them, which is why some of them I know, but not all of them.
satisfying explosion noise on top of that.
Agreed. Good tier it is.
The M622 Avalanche is next, a weapon that fires cryo rounds.
The
Yeah, I don't know
advantages
that
of the
one.
Avalanche is its higher fire rate and higher ammo capacity. Plus, it staggers enemies even if they have shields or armor.
The downside
Interesting.
is it can't kill anything worth a damn.
The Avalanche still has its uses during fights where enemies keep respawning to fight you. Freezing them makes them easier to kill,
Yep.
though it is definitely lacking the punch necessary to reach higher than good tier.
Now listen, that next one, that motherfucker right there is literally a nuke. It literally shoots nukes.
Now you know what time it is. It's time for the M920 Kane.
Those are high-pressure tanks. They might be useful.
A literal
takes a
pocket
long
nuke.
time.
The Kane's only real use is to be a boss killer. It's great
Yeah.
on the Thresher Maw, the Oculus, and the Proto Reaper, but it's
Because it just does so much damage, it pretty much one-shots them. It's a boss killer, but it's a damn good one that you know works 100% of the time.
overkill on basically anything else.
I know the cane is a meme weapon and all, but it actually isn't useful most of the time due to its limited ammo capacity
Yeah.
and high ammo usage. It's great if you have one specific target you want to take out.
Yeah,
But
you're like,
outside
fuck
of
that guy.
You might as well use something else.
Not to mention the insanely long charge-up time. It's 4 seconds long. Plenty of time to get
Put it
shot
in
to
good.
death.
Maybe for you, but I've never had issues firing the Kane.
No one asked Donald anyway. The cane is unfortunately going to the mid-tier. Being good in one-
Mid? No, it's got to be good because of the niche of being a boss killer. Because some of those boss fights are really obnoxious and you can literally skip it just by shooting it with that thing.
select situation isn't good enough, even if the weapon is basically a war crime.
You will one day come to regret this grave disrespect you've put upon the Kane.
Onto an actually good heavy weapon, the arc projector is my go-to.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
easily
that's the
best
one that
weapon for
shocks
most
the
combat
multiple
scenarios.
enemies.
It chains to nearby enemies and they all get paralyzed.
Which is good to use on the engineer when you use overload that does the same thing, so you can constantly proc this over and over and over again. That being said, overload does the same thing, so I would just do that instead.
To take heavy damage.
The arc projector has its uses, especially when dealing with shielded and synthetic foes. But as far as dealing with large groups of enemies, it's nothing compared to the grenade launcher in Black Storm.
The arc
Exactly.
projector is a pretty decent weapon. I would put it in good tier. It's basically
Yeah.
a gun that fires
Sorry.
overload.
Lastly, we'll rank the collector particle beam a great weapon that offers
Yep.
long range to classes
It's always
that might
good.
be lacking it.
The particle beam is great on armor and shields, and outdamages the Firestorm on armor thanks to its range and overall DPS.
I hate to give the collectors any credit, but their little
They're
laser
pretty
gun
good.
is pretty impressive and might be the best heavy weapon overall.
Agreed. I think we
Yeah.
should put the particle beam in top tier at the most standout heavy
Yeah.
weapon.
Okay, so good video. They did a good job. He did a good job with it. Shoot. I can't say. There are a couple things I disagree with, but you know they've convinced me somewhat with most of them. So overall, yeah, he knows exactly what he's talking about. Shoot, we're definitely going to take it. Shoot, like and subscribe this guy because he is good. He does a good job, and he has Garrus as his fucking profile picture. That's how you know he's a homie. Until then, shoot. Again, feel free to leave any comments. And all of you guys have a good day today. Like and subscribe. Do whatever you want. I'm going to try to do a couple more of these so that way we can get out more.